Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and welcome to the first episode of Topping Haters, where we're going to take comments from the last couple of videos that I've done, and we're going to go ahead and lubricate them up, stretch them out, and just get ready to fuck the assholes of the internet. So let's go ahead and dig in. We got a lot of comments on the last few videos. Almost all of them were positive. I love all of you guys, but we're getting a couple of the stragglers that we've had in the past. These are the people we're trying to get rid of, and these are the people that really are trying to cling to these anti-LGBTQ, anti-gay ideas and kind of feel like they're not being discriminatory. And I do want to address this, and I want to address these comments. I will remove names from these comments, but the first comment I want to talk about is something that I hear all the time, and it's this justification that, you know, no one cares what you do in the bedroom. You don't need to tell me. I don't need to know about it, right? And there's so much wrong with this, and I hear this all the time. And first of all, you're kind of debilitating and lowering the LGBTQ experience to only being sexual acts in the bedroom, which is absolutely not true. If you were to compare this to a straight comparison, saying that, you know, being straight and having sex with women is all the experience is about for being straight, you would be removing romance. You would be removing so many traditions and histories in our world that you would literally be destroying the concept of what love and relationships are. So when you say no one cares what you do in the bedroom, it is less about kind of you insulting the LGBTQ community, and I would say it's really a wake-up call that you need to reevaluate where you're at and what your concepts of love and valuing others and engaging with others intimately is. The next comment that always gets me going is from L-Guy, and it says, now that you're, you know, kind of coming out a little bit more as a gay content creator, I would love you to play Colonel Sanders or the Daddy Hunter game. Now, this, of course, is not a hateful comment, but because it's L-Guy, I feel like I do have to give him a little bit of a slam here, because there's no way I would be caught dead playing these games, even though I think they are very cute and very fun. That's never been who I am. That's not really what I'm interested in doing, and I'm not really interested in playing. So L-Guy, hell no am I going to be playing this game. Those games. The next comment we got was a little bit of a breakdown, a little bit of confusion, right? I understand a lot of my audience is old, middle-aged men like myself. So, you know, you're gonna get some confusion here. So one question here, you know, this individual was confused that I had done a survey asking people how many people were LGBTQ and straight, and they were upset that after that survey, I made the decision to tell people if they didn't support the LGBTQ community, they could F off. And that decision is still true. There was confusion around why I was gathering data and why I made the decision that I did. And I gathered data because that's what you do. That's when you are kind of putting your ear to the ground and kind of checking the pulse. That's what you need to do to understand. But you know, sometimes when people gather data, you're not always going to get the result that you want, right? And maybe that's just a representation of your experience as a cis straight man who's more than likely white if you're following the demographics of my audience. You know, it's one of those things that just kind of harkens to that privilege that you do have. Now, you did point out that, you know, I'm only allowing yes men on my channel and I'm not allowing non-believers allowed. And you're absolutely right on this. If you don't support LGBTQ rights, if you don't support the idea that the LGBTQ community should be outspoken and engaged, that, you know, doing a small thing like these last few videos or putting a rainbow badge on my hat are something that is actively hurting the community when it could be, in fact, helping someone who has never seen someone LGBTQ in the position that they're doing, then, you know, I can't help you. You really are kind of, you know, hitting that wall of being able to progress past. Finally, my biggest complaint, and one that was echoed actually the most in my last few videos, was of course what every gay man hears. The reason a gay man will not be alone with a child ever, if you are gay, you know what I'm talking about, and that is for the children, right? You know, how could you do this? How could you make these videos? You know, you're corrupting the children. You have such an impact on the children, you know, and I'm really disappointed to you, you know. And then, you know, you get comments like, everyone's gay, it's the end of the world, bye bye mankind, you know, LGBTQ win. Like, yeah, okay. The percentage of my audience, I'll put it on the screen right here, is literally 0.2% for 13 to 17-year-olds. Do you know how little that is? Do you realize there are probably more kids watching any type of Fortnite streamer that might be grooming them for whatever, right? And you're setting your targets on me. That should be a concern. It should be a concern that you would worry about your kids coming to my channel and seeing my pro-sex, kind of pro-beliefs, support of LGBTQ communities. Then you're worried about your child seeing hurtful pornographic images, right? Or potentially going to some other dark corner on the internet, which do exist, right? The naivety that your kids aren't going there, that they're only watching the YouTubers that you watch as like a 30-plus-year-old man. The fuck are you thinking? Your kids aren't here. That's not my audience. And if it is, good for you. We're gonna teach you, you know, safe sex, and we're gonna teach you how to live a positive, you know, great, fulfilling life. So yeah, the idea that, you know, this would at all be hurtful to children is really just a load of malarkey. And if this is really what you're worried about, you should be going and checking your kids' search histories and seeing what's really going on there, because I guarantee you they're fucking lying to you. I mean, what do you want me to say? They are. Like, if this has to be a wake-up call to all the parents that are 30 plus in my channel that are watching right now and think that their children are these sweet little angels that aren't doing anything wrong on the internet, let's be honest. Let's get real, guys. Let's get real. Anyway, I was blessed enough to only really have that be the only few negative comments. We had probably about 8 or 9 in total. I think the ultimate topping experience as a YouTube content creator is when you do something like this and you go through the comment section and you click on hide comments. Y'all are gonna get fucked in your head right now from hearing this, because when I hide your comments on my channel, or I hide a user on your channel, it doesn't tell you. So there's literally people out there right now, they're literally posting on every single video that I am making. They're like, oh yeah, Dig's gay agenda, blah, 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 terrible, right? Nobody's gonna see you because I hid you from my channel and you have no idea. So I literally just get to watch from this tower as like you're screaming in a little jar at the bottom of this, you know, giant city. And you think you're being this huge, you know, savvy, right, anti-LGBT, pro, whatever, you know, whatever you're doing, nobody's hearing you. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your night.